Mark Myhra. In May of this year, and I was declared a stage 4 pancreatic cancer patient. 5 months later, we find out that the chemotherapies that are approved in the United States didn't work. So I am now off all of chemotherapy, and unless we find something new to try, the cancer will start to grow faster and likely will take me soon. You know, if I were to say to my children, you know, you're going to be better off if I'm in heaven, they would all say, Dad, shush, that's not true. It may very well be true. You know, that I can intercede, you know, in the spirit of the communion of saints, assuming I make it to the. I said at the last sitting, you know, that St. Peter doesn't say, what about these hockey years? You know, that I make it in, that they may well be better off with me looking down from center ice. My faith life, we've talked about my faith life. It's been a super important part of who I am. It is, you know, influenced in heavy ways every aspect of my life except hockey. You know, my faith life did not influence how I played the game, but in every other respect, you know, from being a husband to being a father to being a coworker to being a neighbor, you know, my faith life has been super important to me. Our spiritual growth, my spiritual growth, is far more dependent on enduring pain and suffering than it is on successes in life. I would not be who I am today if I had had the life of the smooth Zamboni ice. There have been many occasions when the difficulties of life have brought me to my knees. Those moments have never brought me to say, where are you, God, in all this? They have brought me to say, God, I need you more than ever. People who get a terminal diagnosis can be crippled by fear. I remember my own father. He's the toughest guy I ever knew. He told me once that when he got his diagnosis of lung cancer, he said, Mark, I've never been so afraid in my life. Shook me to my core. And he did suffer from some depression after that. The common denominator for all of us alive is that we lead broken lives. Coming out of the other side of those moments of brokenness is really an opportunity to be better. The people who make a choice to cooperate with God's providence and get better because of it really are better able to be people of joy. I've read some books recently about terminal illness and, you know, my own situation. And at least one of the books talks about this phenomenon that most people, when they pass, the first thing they experience is a loved one who's been gone for a while, and they have an opportunity to, you know, exchange to converse.
Yeah.
And I've imagined that if my own cancer gets the best of me, that I'll see Don again, my dear father. The best of me. I think in some ways is from the best of him and the best of Marge, my mom. To the extent there's a hero in my life, it's Marge. My mom was, sort of the quintessential mom, just a great power in the family of love and goodness. Father Hesburgh is the one who said, the best thing a dad can do for his kids is to love their mom. And I think that is a quote that's been used before and probably attributed to others. I believe it is from Father Hesburgh himself, who is the former president of Notre Dame. And I think it's a lovely formula for family success, to let the kids I don't know why that notion chokes me up a bit, but to let the kids see how much I love their mom. And that has maybe been one of the great victories of my life.
It's true, you do love their mom.
That is true indeed.
It was Wayne Gretzky who said it? He was the original person who said that?
Well, the great one would have.
I think he said, skate to where your mom is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the first call, despite my saying to you guys that I'm accepting of God's will, and if that means I'm gone by Christmas time, so be it. There is a fundamental call to live, right? And I'm acknowledging to myself and to you guys and to my children's children that all things equal, I want to stay here as long as I can and continue to be Papa. And because the Papa vocation has really been the crown jewel of my vocations. Father Hesburgh would probably say the best thing that a grandfather can do for his grandchildren is to love their grandmother. That wasn't Gretzky.
If you wanted your life to stand for anything, if there's anything that you feel like in the end you're proudest of, that was the most you, what would that be?
Well, I can say generally it would relate in some way to my family life. It would relate in some way to my marriage, and other ways to my parenting of my kids. Even though both realms have been, riddled with my own errors, I've often thought to myself, I'm going to get up to the pearly gates, and St. Peter, as we Catholics like to say, there's this moment when St. Peter decides, and oh. And then he gets to the end and he's going to say, "You were a damn good husband." Welcome aboard, my good and faithful servant.